So I'm going to give a quick overview of using Google to find some results, and this is not Google Scholar, but Google, because sometimes you may not be finding what you need in the Scholar searches, and sometimes things show up in a regular Google search that are scholarly, and I'm going to show you an example of that. You're going to be able to use the same kind of search criteria that I laid out in Google Scholar using and or. These are Boolean search criteria, and they really help narrow down a search to begin with. This happens to be one that Kristen is working on. She's looking at Vietnam War and propaganda in film. And there were a lot of anti-Vietnam War films, but none of them were about Vietnam. And so that's kind of the thing she's looking at. The only one that was about Vietnam was very pro-Vietnam, and that was the Green Berets. This is a search query that turned up a couple of different things. Now, I did not, in this search, I did not limit this to educational sites. That could have, I'd put site and edu on here, that could have made it specific. I'll actually show you how that looks. And you've got different results. It's all the way down to 41 results. But you're not going to get the thing that I actually just wanted to show you, although there is something there on Soldier Blue, which is another film that's related to the one that I'm looking at, which is Little Big Man. So going back to the first search that I did, out of this, there is a particular article that I'm looking for, which is this one. It's called Imperfect Past, Vietnam According to the Movies. Now, this is perfectly matched with Kristen's topic. However, when you click on it, you'll notice that right here, it's telling you it's a PDF, and you may have seen this in Google Scholar before. But if you click on it, and you look at it, it says, oh, this looks perfect. It looks like it might be a journal article or a book. Looking at the pagination, there's a good chance it's a book, because usually you will get the name of the journal at the top of the page, and you're not getting that at all. You often might also get the name of the book, but you're also not getting that. So this isn't very helpful for finding out what this is, but it's perfectly legitimate for both the bibliography and for the literature review. It fits right into what she's looking at. So this is a good candidate for that. Scholarly. It's by Winifred Fluck, The Imperfect Past, Vietnam According to the Movies. Now, you could go the traditional way and just jump over here. We'll go to a Google Scholar search and see if we can find it in there, even though it didn't show up when we did a search in Google Scholar. And you'll notice that what we do is we get a citation. We don't necessarily have it anywhere else, but there is a citation for this. And if we look at the citation for MLA, it looks like it was in a book entitled The Merits of Memory, Concepts, Context, Debates, 2008. It does have our pagination. The problem is that we're also missing a lot of information from this citation, getting it from Google Scholar. So in order to find all this, we would have to go to find this in a library to find at least the name of the publisher. That's bare minimum. And of course, you'll notice that MLA, the citation, is completely wrong, which is why you can't trust Google Scholar for your citations. You could copy and paste it just to get started, but you're going to have to figure out where the rest of the information is. Now, I'm bypassing the obvious way to do this because I want to show you that sometimes the obvious way that I'm going to show you doesn't exist. So you've got to do a little bit of detective work to find out some of this information. If the one benefit of getting the citation, however, is I can grab all of this and then do maybe a Google search for the title of the book itself, which is just The Merits of Memory. Take off the article here. And bare minimum, we can buy this on Amazon. And Amazon can sometimes be useful because it will tell you, oh, we now have the publisher, we have when it was published, it's in an American Studies series, and pretty much all we need to know is here. Okay, but let's go back to the obvious way. The other thing you can do is you can trace your history. So you'll notice that when I followed this link here, that took me directly to the article. You can work your way back in a URL. So if you work your way back to the first backslash, right, and if I take all of this off, which is the article itself, Fluck Imperfect Past PDF. If I take that off and I let it go, it's going to take me to a base page for this article. Okay, The Imperfect Past, Vietnam According to the Movies by Winifred Fluck in 2008. That's the title of the article. Okay, the publisher is right here. It's located in Heidelberg, although we don't need that. That is not what location is looking for in MLA. It's got a couple of keywords, and you can download it here. It appeared in the Merits of Memory Concept Context Debate. It's also got the editors. That would be in the other contributors, so you would need that. And it shows where it is located, which we had already figured that out. So you found a little bit more information maybe in Amazon, but between the two, you got more than enough information. Now, the next question, however, is this is not the book. This is just the article in the book. So where is it? And as we've been talking about containers, this shows up in another container. So you've kind of got to keep working your way back, but a lot of times you can figure this out. This is at Freer University in Berlin. And this is at a place called the John F. Kennedy Institute. So if you work your way back, I'm assuming that Winifred Fluck teaches there. This is where you can find out information about him. But this is also located in not just his site, but at the John F. Kennedy Institute for North American Studies. So this is the website, right? And it functions a lot like a university, and it is supplying us with this article published by Winifred Fluck. So essentially, this is the second container. It's the John F. Kennedy Institute. If you wanted to put a publisher down for that, it would be the Freer University in Berlin. I'm not sure that they gave us any online publication date when they uploaded this, in which case we don't really need to include it. But we do need to include the URL here for the citation, and then finally the access date. So what you'll see following is the citation for this particular entry. But it's very useful because a lot of you probably are going to find stuff like this on the internet that is not necessarily showing up in the regular sources. By the way, this is very similar in a way if you found something in a Google Books. Google Books functions as a container as well. So you would more or less cite it the same way.